social media and having YouTube channels and stuff. And, we text each other a lot. We're in this text group and get together, occasionally and all hang out.
I woke up on this day earlier than the last day, but it felt better. I knew it was going to be a slow day. I knew it was going to be a mid-low day. Not the lowest, definitely not high, but something where I could move through my day. And then, while surfing on YouTube and Facebook and everything, I discovered that my favorite YouTuber, Jessica Sowards, on Roots and Refuge, had shared about her journey with health recently. She's been struggling with some autoimmune stuff and eczema and everything like that in the past 2 years, I want to say. And she talked about how she would spend like 6 hours in the tub just to get some relief. Because like as soon as she would get out, like 15 minutes later, her body was just like ache and just she'd be really uncomfortable. I don't remember everything she says about it, but yeah. And so she was talking to her friends, and her friends, like, she has a group of friends, especially in the YouTube community, a lot of the homestead people, and they've all dealt with health issues, a lot of them. And in specific, she was talking about Sow the Land YouTube. Oh shoot, I can't remember the wife's name, but anyways, she's really good friends with the wife, and the wife was talking about how the husband had like a breakout of eczema for some reason, and he's had cancer before, and then like a year or two ago he had like this huge flare-up of eczema, and what he did for it was go carnivore. So she goes into talking about going carnivore, and like she's not the only one. Like Sow the Land has gone carnivore for stuff, and then I think they've reintroduced foods now that he's like healed, but then like Justin Rhodes from the Justin Rhodes family channel, he's still doing carnivore like in general. So apparently that like Jessica was like, as soon as she heard that it helped like Sow the Land, I'm gonna call them that because I can't think of their names right now. As soon as she heard that, she was like, okay, I'm trying it tomorrow, with like barely any research or anything. She was just like, screw it, like it's worked for them, I'm gonna try it, because she was so desperate. And like I related that so much. Like that's like, I'm willing to do carnivore, and like I love everything that's not carnivore as well, but I'm like so tired of being sick. And so anyway, she tried being carnivore, and so far she's lost like 20 or 30 pounds for one thing. She's also like so much more, like she has so much more energy and mobility. Like she talked about like she had so much extra energy, like in the winter when they weren't doing like all the gardens, and like the winter is generally slower. So like she's like, I had so much energy that I've been going to the gym like twice a week and just seeing what my body could do, because I've been in such pain, and I've just been pushing through the pain, working through the pain, and like now I can actually do stuff and I can actually move my body. And I was just like, oh my goodness, like, I relate to that. Like, she's older than me, and like, she's like in her 30s, like 35 or something. And I'm gonna be 30 in April, and like, I feel like a 60-year-old woman. Like, I feel old just in what I'm able to do. So like, going carnivore is definitely like a possibility, but it's also so expensive. So like, I don't know if it's gonna work out, because like, the price of regular food right now, right, is like crazy. So I'm like considering like putting more meat in my diet and cutting out, like, you know, what they say about like gluten and dairy, and just really cracking down, because like, it's, if I could get like where I feel like she talks about feeling, it's totally worth it. Like, having your life back is everything that you dream of with chronic illness. So like, that's another thing, is like, I want to, if there is a way to heal what I have, then I want to do it. Like, I don't want to live like, for example, like, most days that aren't, that, like, let's say it's not a high day, it's not a high energy day. If I go down to the basement to do laundry and come back up, I have to rest for 30 to 45 minutes because I'm out of breath, my body hurts. Like, that's the reality of my life. So if it could change, that would be like amazing. I would feel like the sky is bluer and the grass is greener. Like, it'd be amazing. So we'll see what I incorporate out of like everything that I've learned about carnivore, which isn't like everything about carnivore. I've just heard it works for different people, and I've seen it work for different people. Yeah, like, I'm definitely willing to try it. So willing. Like, not just for me, but for my husband. Like my husband has to do so much for me, especially when I'm low, like the last few days. Like, he goes to work, right? And he's the only one working right now because I had to quit because of like, my symptoms were like, just, they would get so much worse when I was constantly active. Like, I have to rest so much. And so like, it's gotten better at times, and then times like when I'm recovering from like, I guess when I'm recovering from just massive times of like action, which I take advantage of course. If I have energy, I use it. But I'm starting to think I need to like even portion that and be like, okay, part of this time I'm going to use, part of this time I'm going to rest, even if I don't think I need to rest. And then part of this time, I don't know, like, at least half and half is going to be like rest, and half of it's going to be go. And it probably is going to be more interspersed, where I'm not going like all the time. So like in this video, I'm sending my husband pictures of myself, and kind of an update that like I was able to do some stuff today, because I know it's got to be so discouraging to see your partner just like constantly sick and not know what to do for them other than like to help carry the load. But that gets tiring, I'm sure. And like, I was like, I've got to share the good times as well as the bad. So like, some of my friends, like, they'll be like, how are you? And I'm like, I'm not doing too great. So whenever things are going great, I'll be like, hey, just so you know, I wanted to share with you that like today's really great and I got to do this great thing. Because the people who go through it with you, like, they have their own up and downs, I think, about your own, like, about your journey, about your health. Whether it's your mom or your sister or your friends or your husband, whoever it is, like, they go through it with you. And I'm so grateful that I have people in my life who do try to understand, because not everybody tries to understand what you're going through and give you the grace of, like, oh, you're actually sick, like, all the time, and it's not your fault. So, or even if they're like, oh, you could try this, you could try that, like, it just gets overwhelming. And I'm thankful for those people who are just, like, with you on the journey. So, yeah, this was such an amazing day. Sorry, I have sinus infection, so don't mind my voice. But yeah, this day was amazing. Like, I was like, okay, it's sunny. I'm gonna bask in the sunlight, even though I don't feel like going outside. I'm open this window and feel the air, and I was able to, make myself some coffee. That's like, I don't do that every day. It's just like, there's some days that's like, oh, this is a nice day, and I make myself some coffee and I put some flavored creamer, and it's my little piece of luxury out of not luxury. I love my new cup from my friend from Christmas. We want a dog so bad one day. One day it will happen. But until it does, I will try to continue to be grateful for the good things. That's one thing I thought about today. I was like, people who haven't had to slow down, haven't been forced to slow down, and who have not had chronic illness as a pain, like, they don't always appreciate the glow of the sun on something, or just certain little gratitudes that if you are constantly in pain and your life is constantly gray, you notice those things. Cheers to chronic illness.